an unprecedented process to disarm Hezbollah. Barak praised the Lebanese government for taking the first step, saying now it was Israel's turn to withdraw fully and respect the November truce. We'll now listen in to what Tom Barak, the US envoy, has said.
The next step is we need participation on the part of Israel, and we need an economic plan for prosperity, restoration, and renovation. The few weeks you're going to see progress on all sides. And what does progress mean? Progress means a better life for everybody. It means a better life for the people, a better life for our neighbors, and at least the beginning of a roadway to a different kind of dialogue with all of our neighbors. The dealing with Hezbollah, as we've always said, is a Lebanese process.
While Lebanon's cabinet has tasked its army with disarming Hezbollah by year's end, a historic move as the group is the only faction to retain its weapons since the civil war. But Hezbollah's leaders have vowed to resist, warning that they will not disarm while occupation continues. Well, an extremely complex situation, and these comments, of course, from the US coming amidst that instability. Joining us to discuss that is Rohan Gunaratne, an international affairs expert, joining us live from Singapore. Professor Gunaratne, as always, a pleasure to have you on the programme. How significant are these comments by US envoy Tom Barak, especially urging Israel to comply? Of course, US relations with Israel have been strong throughout ongoing conflicts that have been questioned across the globe. Is this the first time we're seeing the US potentially question Israel's planned operations relating to any of the nations and proxy groups around Israel?
You are correct, Joshua. I like to mention two things. One is US is the only country that can sufficiently put pressure on Lebanon to get the Lebanese Hezbollah to disarm. It is because the US is investing significant resources in the Lebanese military and Lebanon as a country. So Tom Barak's visit should be hailed. It is something which is very commendable, and we all should be happy because the Lebanese Hezbollah has inflicted so much of death and destruction globally as a terrorist organization. It's an international terrorist organization, and even the current Hezbollah leader, that is Naim Qassam, he has said that if Hezbollah is going to be disarmed, there will be a civil war in Lebanon. So what is important is the United States to remain engaged in this process. Otherwise, Lebanese Hezbollah will manipulate and keep its capabilities, maintain his capabilities, and will pose a future threat to not only Israel, but global stability, because it's a global group. Certainly, this is the first time that the US envoy said that Israel should withdraw from southern Lebanon. But in my personal view, Israel will not withdraw from southern Lebanon unless they are 100% sure that the Lebanese Hezbollah is going to disarm. Only when they have that assurance, the Israelis will withdraw from southern Lebanon, because the security of Israel today is determined very much by what is happening in the immediate neighborhood. So if there is a Lebanese Hezbollah build-up anywhere in Lebanon, whether it's in Beirut or in the south, the Israelis will attack. This is the Israeli doctrine after the October 7th attacks.
Yes, and let's build on this multifaceted, moving situation that could, as you say, potentially end in a civil war. How logistically possible is it for the Lebanese government to disarm Hezbollah without a wider conflict that then could involve Israeli intervention?
The United States is arming, training, and assisting the Lebanese military to become a robust force. And if the US can provide that steadfast support over a period of time, certainly the Lebanese military can be the only army in Lebanon. Right now, there is Lebanese Hezbollah that has been severely weakened by IDF and by the Mossad from India operations. But what is important is not only for the United States, but for the European countries and other governments to strengthen the Lebanese military and ensure that Hezbollah is totally dismantled and that Hezbollah leaders are kept under very careful watch. And if that can be done, Lebanon will emerge as a very prosperous nation as it was before.
Yes, and finally, as we bring an end to our discussion, Rohan, where do you see this going? In your opinion, does this lead to diffusion or further conflict?
Certainly, Joshua, this is a right move. It's a positive direction. It will reduce the threat of global terrorism because Lebanese Hezbollah attacked the US Marine barracks and the French paratrooper headquarters in '83. It is one of the first terrorist groups to use suicide attacks, and it's a very lethal group. So dismantling one of the oldest and one of the most dangerous terrorist groups is good for the world, but it has to be done intelligently so that it will not disrupt the stability of Lebanon. And of course, Israel must cooperate. Israel must work very closely with the United States, as it is doing now, to ensure that Lebanese Hezbollah ceases to exist as an organization in Lebanon.
Rohan Gunaratne, as always, such a pleasure to have you on the programme. Thank you ever so much for your time.